What's going on, everyone? So breaking news, Lakers are getting Jarred Vanderbilt back. He has officially been medically cleared, and he is expected to make his season debut on Saturday against the Golden State Warriors. So we have the Boston Celtics coming up, then you got the Golden State Warriors. So he's not going to play in the Boston game, but he will be back for the Golden State Warriors game. This is huge, right? Now, a couple things I want people to keep in mind. This is exciting. I'm pumped, as I'm sure many of you are. He has the potential to really change a lot for this Lakers team. However, it's going to be a process, and it's going to be a while, right? He's going to be on minute restrictions when he comes back. I mean, JJ said this like weeks ago. Like, hey, when he comes back, he's only probably going to play, 8 to 12 minutes a game. Maybe they push it to 15, right? Like, last thing they want to do is rush him and have him play 30 minutes a game, and then he gets hurt, misses the rest of the season, and misses the playoffs, right? He's a guy that's they're going to be very cautious with him. They're going to be very calculated on how they approach him. Second thing I want people to keep in mind, he just had double foot surgery. One, there's no guarantee he ever even gets back to being the Jarred Vanderbilt we know and love. But two, even if he does, it's going to probably take a while. I mean, his conditioning probably isn't quite there where you need it. Obviously, they've been trying to get him as many reps and practices in and things like that as they possibly can. But I imagine for a good majority of the offseason, he was probably laid up, legs elevated, right, staying off of his feet. So if you're expecting Jarred Vanderbilt to come back and immediately be Jarred Vanderbilt, you're going to be very disappointed, right? Maybe it happens, right? Maybe Vando comes back and he doesn't miss a beat, because a lot of his game is just his instincts and his understanding on the defensive side of things, right? But I want people to keep in mind the circumstances and context, right? It's very important because a lot of people, myself included, are really excited that Jarred Vanderbilt's back, and we all are hoping that he can be that guy because, again, he solves so much for the Lakers. Versatile defender. Right? I mean, we saw Anthony Davis plus Jarred Vanderbilt made the Lakers one of the best, if not was the best, defensive team in the league. Right? What is him plus Anthony Davis? Oh, and plus a Dorian Finney-Smith now. And if the Lakers can go get another defensive piece, say, a Bruce Brown, boom. Right? Now what Lakers are probably top 5 to 7 at worst defensively at that point. Right? Because on top of that, all of the ground that Jarred Vanderbilt covers, both defensively and his ability to defend 1 through 5, really, right? And then on top of that, he gives you a guy that, yes, he doesn't impact the game offensively in the traditional sense, right? But he does impact the game offensively through just his actions, right? Defensive rebounds, gives the Lakers another opportunity. Getting stops, gives the Lakers another opportunity. Turnovers, both regular and live ball, give the Lakers more opportunity, right? Him as a slasher and cutter, him as the screen setter, slip man, the roll man, right? Like him, if he can just knock down the occasional 3 here and there, right? He really opens stuff up. More likely than not this season, he's probably going to be the assignment guy, right? So, we're playing the Thunder. Hey, I need you 3 to 4 minutes a quarter to just stop him. Everything you can, CSGA. Yeah, your job is to just be relentless on him for 4 minutes a quarter, whatever. And he's playing 16 minutes a game, and that's his job. Also, I am fine, and I've said this before, I am fine if Jarred Vanderbilt takes his time to get back, right? As long as he is the Jarred Vanderbilt we are accustomed to by the playoffs, I'm good, right? Even if he is absolute dog water right now, and he's just man, this guy's unplayably bad, right? I'm okay with the process. I'm okay with him, taking his time. But all the haters are going to be oh, this is your savior, talking all that mess, and just completely ignore the context, right? And then you're going to have a lot of Laker fans that are going to overreact to Jarred Vanderbilt. Oh, man, see, look, he's done. He's cooked. He's washed. Rather, again, than ignoring all the context of no, this guy just got back from double foot surgery. And guess what? It's not like he doesn't need his feet for defense, right? Out of everything, that's the most important thing he needs are his feet, right? So he's probably going to be a little shaky, a little rocky. He's probably not going to be quite Jarred Vanderbilt. I mean, even last year we saw it. He was starting to look like Jarred Vanderbilt 10 games into it, and then he got hurt again. And it was man. But if he can slowly start to get back to the Jarred Vanderbilt we know and love. Then, come playoff time, and now you have this like full-fledged let's go time to clamp up Jarred Vanderbilt. That changes so much for the Lakers. Jarred Vanderbilt by himself isn't the cure-all. Jarred Vanderbilt by himself doesn't now, that's it, Lakers are the best team in the NBA. But Jarred Vanderbilt by himself does impact this team tremendously. We don't have anyone else that does what Jarred Vanderbilt does. The closest thing we have right now is Dorian Finney-Smith. And what he's capable of doing in the ground, we've seen him cover, and the hustle plays, and the rebounding, and he can also knock down the three ball, right? Well, now if you pair Jarred Vanderbilt with Dorian Finney-Smith, now you have two guys that can defend and switch 1 through 5. Now your defensive schemes are entirely different, right? Like, one of the big problems is everyone keeps talking about, like, Lakers switch everything, right? Why do they switch everything? Because they don't have a choice, right? They don't have all these guys that can navigate screens well and fight through the traffic and still recover and do all that stuff. Max Christie is probably, all season long, obviously, again, now we got Dorian Finney-Smith, but up until that point, Max Christie was pretty much the only guy we had. And he still would get stuck in traffic at times, right? He would kind of, instead of going over the screen, he'd go under the screen. Right? Like, he's still learning. He's young. He'll get there. I'm not worried about it. He's 21, but he's still learning those processes. Right? But we've seen guys like Dorian Finney-Smith can get through that screen, can fight through that traffic, good physical, can be aggressive, right? Get after it on the defensive side. Well, if you bring in a guy like Jarred Vanderbilt, now you have that. Teams keep hunting Austin Reeves, right? If you have Jarred Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith out there, teams can't scout and hunt Austin Reeves as much anymore. Why? Because you can just tell Jarred, do not switch that action. Do whatever you do. Vando, you stay with him. If he wants to switch on Austin Reeves, you do not switch that. You stay with him. I'd rather you get beat than Austin Reeves, right? Like, boom. Now you fix a lot of that, right? Like, again, is it still going to happen on occasion? Sure. Right? Things happen. But now it's not as regular because you have a guy, again, that can fight through that traffic, that can fight through those screens, that can navigate screens better, that understands kind of the space and where I need to be and how I need to angle myself and how I need to position myself. Right? Like, Jarred Vanderbilt impacts that. He solves so much of the Lakers' issues. Again, he doesn't solve all of it. Lakers still need trades. They still need to go get another guy or ideally two. But he is a huge step in the right direction. Look, I've even said, again, fingers crossed, that the Lakers make some type of trade. But if they don't, let's say the Lakers just decide to stand pat the rest of the way, come playoff time, you don't really have to do this right now, but come playoff time, I believe your starting five needs to be Austin Reeves, Jarred Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Because regardless, you're counting on Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis to provide you enough offense. Right? Because chances are the Lakers aren't going to bring in, as much as I'd love it, a third option, like a legit third option, a consistent scorer. They're probably not doing that. They're going to rely on Austin Reeves as their third guy. Okay, fine. Not a fan of it, but sure. If that's the case, then you need to put the guys properly around him to mask and help kind of alleviate that pressure. And to me, just go all in defensively. Have Jarred Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith out there. Now you got two sizable, physical, versatile defensive players that could those two guys can just switch everything. Those two guys can defend multiple actions. Those guys, you got different looks offensively, different looks defensively. Dorian Finney-Smith can continue to shoot threes the way that he has, right? Like, that would be huge. Everybody on your team, except for Jarred Vanderbilt, can shoot, right? People are like, oh, teams are going to pack the paint. They're going to do that regardless, right? Like, teams are going to trust Austin Reeves isn't going to knock down 8 threes a game, that Dorian Finney-Smith is going to knock down 8 threes a game. So you need to maximize your side of things as much as possible. And I think the way you do that is with Jarred Vanderbilt. Again, assuming he gets back to being the Jarred Vanderbilt we know and love, right? Bare minimum, you need to close with those 5. Bare minimum, it should be Austin Reeves, Jarred Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis as your closing 5. If you want to start Max Christie just to keep him engaged, keep him mentally involved, right? Sure, fine, okay. But come the end of games, Vando needs to be that guy that is your point of attack and defensive piece out on the perimeter, slotted alongside Dorian Finney-Smith, slotted alongside LeBron James, slotted alongside Anthony Davis. And you just trust that those 5 are switchable, long enough, versatile enough. I think rebounding, you'd be much better. The 50-50 balls, you're winning probably most of them rather than what it is currently right now. The defense would probably be one of the best defenses in the league at that point. You're just hoping, again, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis can collectively score enough to where you can kind of offset the liability defensively. or offensively from Vando, right? But again, I hope that the Lakers make a trade. Instead of like, oh, we got Vando and that's it, I hope it's like, hey, we got these moves. Oh, and we got Jarred Vanderbilt, and he's back, and he's starting to make progress. Oh, here comes the playoffs. We're looking good. Oh, and Jarred Vanderbilt is back to being Jarred Vanderbilt. That's my hope going into the playoffs, where it's like, we have a healthy Vando. This team's really shaping up. You know, you've gotten a Bruce Brown and another minor piece or two, right? So you have just this great defensive versatility, right? You got all these guys. You can go defensive units, offensive units, whatever you want to do. Lakers are a top 5 to 7 defense at worst. I wouldn't be shocked if they're number 1, but let's say top 5 to 7 just to be conservative, right? If you can get the offense back up to, you know, top 10 even, right? Which I thought they'd be better. They clearly haven't thus far, but things can change. Again, if they can get back to being a top 5 offense or something like that, boom, now we're in business. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Are you excited about this news? Are you not yet? Are you kind of like, hey, I'll wait and see? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.